Joey P, man, with stats in hand, spilling numbers like grains of sand. Fancy talking about diamond dreams, chasing players, whispering their schemes. Oh, Welsh, breaking it down real slow, voices howling in the radio's glow. Talking monsters on the baseball field, wizards swinging bats and magic shields. Fantasy baseball in the night, podcasters giving us that sight. Question marks and stars collide, dreams of glory never hide.
Welcome in everybody to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by Bet365. Of course, bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code Leading Off only at Bet365. It is me, Joey P. That, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. We're back with a regular week of baseball after the All-Star break and all the wackiness. By the way, in case you missed it, you're just, you took a vacation from baseball for a week, which is fair. I know a lot of people will do that, but you're back here. Go check out the MLB draft we just did. It was fantastic. Welsh did a whole breakdown of the first round, help you with your dynasty teams. Heck, it'll probably help you with your redraft teams next year too. That's the way the world goes. And speaking of minor league baseball, Welsh, I was at the Somerset Patriots AA, got to see a walk-off 2-1 game. I got to see some fireworks. They do a great job over there with the fireworks. And they got a special chicken sandwich there by a local restaurant that is just delicious. And you can get it in all like 5 different ways. You can do the Buffalo more version. They got like a BLT version, all kinds of stuff. But Welsh, chicken sandwiches, baseball, fireworks, sounds like America to me.
I mean, a lot of questions about America lately, but sounds like you were living the American dream.
I was. And you know what? I know you're a hat connoisseur. I was talking before the show with you. They got some cool hats, the little diners logo, because every minor league team has their alternate, whatever. The diners with the little hot chocolate guy with the mug with the little whipped cream on top. You're gonna have to look at it. It's pretty damn cool. Speaking of things you should look up too, before we get to the breakdowns of everything today, a lot of baseball to get to. Ozzie Albies injury. The Hall of Fame happened this weekend too. I know Welsh doesn't care about these things.
I was like, why
are
all these videos about Adrian Beltre and David Ortiz? These silly
that was
guys.
Funny. Ortiz did his head.
No, I know,
which was great. But I want to talk for a moment again. They employ these artists to do these statues or busts or whatever the heck. The busts for the Hall of Fame. They're rough a lot of the time, and I don't know why they're not better. Well, I want to take a look at the Joe Mauer one, because Joe Mauer, I would say, is a handsome man. I don't think that. That's not debatable.
I'm Joe Mauer. How you doing?
He looks like someone who's playing the banjo on the porch somewhere.
French fries, potatoes.
I mean, really, it's very Sling Bladey, and I don't think it's up for debate. I think it's pretty obvious that Joe Mauer, again, handsome man. Look at the face Joe Mauer is making in this other picture. That's my face that I made when I saw this plaque. Look at that. It's horrendous.
Yeah. French fried potatoes.
No, I sure do like them. I like them bats with the cork in it. Hey, sure is good. I got them rousing bags, sometimes 50% off. I do. I mean, dude, come on. All that money. Come on. Seriously, guys. Like, it's just so bad. I can't even imagine. We're never going in the Hall of Fame of anything. I can't imagine how bad some of those.
Looks like Angel Hernandez made that thing. It was ridiculous.
All right, let's get to the headlines here. Let's start with Seth Lugo. I want to start with him. First career complete game. One of my favorite pitchers in the Black Book this year that I wrote up. He has so far exceeded my expectations. He's 12-4 with a 2.38 ERA. He was dirt cheap this year. Everything was screaming, hey, this guy's really turned a corner. He's really seemed to flourish. It's a matter of, hey, can he stand up to the innings? I'm trying to think, Welsh, at this point in the season, is Seth Lugo become a guy that, A, has been the best return on investment of any pitcher in ADP, and B, do you think this is a guy next year is going to see a massive uptick, or will people not believe in all the good work that he's done in 2024?
That's a good question, because I think Skeens belongs in that conversation. Jack Flaherty.
But Skeens had pop in circumstance. He had all of the bells and whistles where people were aggressive on him. There was no buzz, I feel like, on Seth Lugo besides maybe some shows that we did. We were the buzzy guys.
Ranger Suarez would have been kind of the same.
Suarez would be the other one.
Seth Lugo is like the spin king right now on his slurve this year, it averages 31, or I guess that's the peak, 31 on the RPM. Those are ridiculous spin numbers. So he's the spin doctor, if you will. He's been that guy. One thing you can see, like some of the expected stats are going in the wrong direction. He's got a 2.38 ERA. Expected ERA is 3.87, but he's induced a lot less barrels, less hard hit than last year, walking a little bit less, but also if you look at the heat map on his top 3 pitches, so you've got fastball, sinker, curveball. If you look at last year, there was a jumble where they were all kind of in the middle. He's created separation. He moved them and been more accurate. Fastball still kind of owns the middle, but sinker, he's moved over on a corner. Curveball, a little bit more in a corner where everything was just kind of sitting dead red. So with those big spin numbers, that has probably equated to a lot less of the really good contact. And sometimes he's not a huge strikeout guy, though he's had them. You know, the weak induced contact, even if you're giving up a decent amount and not really like, you know, awesome strikeout, walk numbers, everything, and the batting average probably equating to why that expected ERA should be higher. But there are guys that overperform their expected stats. Expected stats are not everything. It's just a barometer for us to talk about players. There are guys that are within a range of expected, and then there's guys that completely beat those expected numbers. And Lugo is one of those types.
Well, it's called pitching acumen, which is a lost art for him. Knowing where the outs are in lineups, knowing the weaknesses of certain hitters, knowing how to attack those things. And Seth Lugo is always a quality arm. When he was in the Mets bullpen, when he came up years and years ago, I always thought Seth Lugo was a guy that, like, maybe eventually you give this guy a real crack at the rotation. The Mets never did, and then he has his time in San Diego. But last year, to me, everything was pointing in the right direction, and he was so dirt cheap, and I wish I had more shares of him. It just didn't happen in leagues. But Seth Lugo, fantastic year. Also, one of our favorite guys, Jaron Duran. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying that I think the big key about like Lugo is like it can maintain. Like he can maintain being this guy the rest of the season, and that's what's good for fantasy.
100%. Jaron Duran continues to be hot. I love watching this kid play baseball. It's just great. He is really coming into his own. 2-run homer, 4 runs driven in on Sunday. Great night for him. Not a great night for Julio Rodriguez. Well, I guess great in one way. The x-rays were negative I guess at the end of the day. So he hurt his ankle this weekend. Not the best look. He did have a home run too, but I don't know. I mean, the Julio thing this year has just been so frustrating. And again,
there's a rumor out there right now that this week is going to be the big trade week. I know there's like 9 days, so it's like, when else can it be? But like that things are really going to start like going, and maybe early. The Mariners need to or get off the pot with this situation, because it's like Julio going down. Like, what are you going to do?
The Astros have caught up to him. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's like you need to be aggressive to make that move. Teams need to go. They need to pull the trigger. And the little bit of a problem is now you're getting a few more teams that are kind of getting out of it that might be in the sell club. You got to get someone that's going to be hyper aggressive. And the Mariners,
the Reds are in the sell club. It looks like. Is there anybody from the Reds that could? I mean, that seems to be. Cincinnati's gone here.
The rumor with them has been that it's going to be like contractual stuff. So a guy like Frankie Montas, like they would look to move a Frankie Montas. I think they would probably move a Candelario, but I'm really not sure. Like what else on the hitting side is it going to do for anybody? I think they're going to be selling some just mid type pieces.
Speaking of unsung heroes too, we were talking about Duran and Lugo. Alec Burleson too, another guy, 2 for 5 with another homer. Slash on the year, 294, 324, 500. I mean, that is really solid. Like, that is just a completely solid dude. He's got up to 18 bombs already. Somebody that I don't think was on a lot of people's radars. I know I did a waiver wire video about him early on when he first got called up, which was like, hey, I kind of compared him to Ben Zobrist statistically. Like, I thought he could be that kind of player. And he has been basically like the best version of that. Here's a question for you. Going into next year, looking at Alec Burleson, everything you've seen so far, because of the versatility, because of the statistical profile, is Alec Burleson a player next year that is going to be a really good mid-round value, or more of a one-year wonder for you?
I think there's a good chance he's going to be a mid-round value. Quietest, like 18 homers. He might walk out of the season with the quietest 25-plus homers of anybody. The reasons to be excited: he does all of this with an incredibly low strikeout rate, 13%. His expected batting average is just about 290. And he's got a really good power distribution. Last year, he only had 8 homers, 7 off the fastball and 1 off of breaking pitches. This year, 8 fastball, 6 breaking, 4 off speed. The distribution has been good. He's really destroying fastballs, which he's seeing a whole lot more of, but he's not hitting really under 240 against anything. So it's been really good contact. And the biggest change, if you're looking at the profile, like where has he kind of unlocked this, because it's not like an elite barrel guy getting the ball in the air more. It was a 12% launch or 12-degree launch angle last year, over 15 this year. We've seen guys unlock that when you can make really good contact. Guys like Ha-Seong Kim from the year before, CJ Abrams did it last year. Even if the power projection isn't like massive, these guys are doing a really good job getting the bat in the plane and getting it up in the air with really good pull numbers. And that's what Alec Burleson has done this year in droves. You know, his zone percentage is way up. He's chasing less. I mean, he's doing everything that you need to do, and it's really optimized. So, yeah, I think Burleson probably going to be a 20 to 25 home run guy throughout. And I really don't know if a lot of this is like unbelievable. You know, for the future.
I think he's a 20 to 25. I don't think he's a 30 guy. 20 to 25, I
not really.
agree next year. Here's a good question from Lee G. Is Burleson this year's Lane Thomas? I mean, Lane Thomas was so much about the stolen base combination, the 100 runs scored, and all that stuff.
I think he's right in like
he's a better contact guy. I'll tell you what, he's a better Lane Thomas Roto in theory is a better player, but Burleson in points leagues, I'd rather have the contact version of Burleson, to be honest.
No, I think this is like, I think that the idea is right. It's not the same player because Thomas was like a 2020 guy.
No, but in the same like out of nowhere-ish kind of feel. RKO out of nowhere. Yeah. Shota Imanaga, 10 more strikeouts for him, 1 run, 7 innings, getting back on track against the D-backs. Ozzy Albies, we teased it at the top, though he's going to miss a few months here with a fractured left wrist. He was making a tag and things did not go well. So instead, we're going to get a look at Nacho Alvarez. Now, before we talk about Nacho Alvarez, Welsh, I feel like we should do something here, which was you should make a little bit of a swap here if we're going to talk about Nacho Alvarez. We're going to go back to the Luchador screen here because old school Jose Canoli and Welchismo. My Luchador mask is back here. Are you putting yours on or no?
I mean, I could.
All right, we could talk about Nacho Alvarez. That's fine. Let's talk about Nacho Alvarez.
Nacho. Oh, nachos.
All right, so
nachos coming for you, Nacho.
Here. All right, so
Ignacio.
All right, here we go. All right, so it's not quite. There we go. All right, how does he work in this thing? Okay, so Nacho Alvarez. Let's talk about him. He is, right now in AAA. 336, 7 home runs, 24 RBI, 21 steals in 76 games between AA and AAA. So he's made that jump already. But there's a wrinkle. There's a fly in the ointment, which is the Braves just signed Whit Merrifield to a major league contract. Not a minor league contract, a major league contract. So, well, Chismo, what I want to know from you is, should people be chasing? That's going to be hard to wear the hat on the mask. Look at you. That's a professional right there. So I want to know from you, are you going with Nacho Alvarez and emptying the fab tank if you're an Albies owner, or are you hedging your bets and thinking, oh, I don't like this Whit Merrifield. You bring in the veteran, you just kind of go through it. I know Merrifield hasn't done much this year, which is why he got let go, but we've seen the veterans in these situations sometimes take over. So is it Alvarez, is it Merrifield, or is it some awful combination of both?
Ooh, brother, it's neither. It's absolutely neither of them. I'm not unloading any fab for either one. Can I take us off now? This is actually
you can if you want to.
Okay, I do.
I'm going to leave mine on. It's very comfortable.
All right. Oh, there's my headphones.
Just through the Nacho Alvarez segment. That's all.
So it's not Whit Merrifield for sure. It could be Nacho Alvarez. Here are the things to be excited about with Nacho. High contact. It's kind of like what we talked with Burleson. Low strikeouts. He has never struck out 19% of the time at any level since he's been in the majors, in the minors. But under 19%, high walk rate. Here was the trippy thing about him, because this is a guy, like I said, he is always going to have like really good contact rates, but the power, complete suppression of power in AA. He had 0 homers over 48 games. He goes to AAA in 28 games, all 7 of his home runs came in AAA. So he kind of was able to re-unlock that, get the ball in the air. I think this is a guy that he's going to here's the problem with it. He's going to hit in the back of the order. He's going to probably score some runs, make good contact. Maybe it's going to be, some counting stats in there. He did start to show off the power. I think this is along the lines of like a notch below Jacob Wilson, who just got hurt. Right.
I was going to say that was so frustrating. The Jacob Wilson thing like that. I mean, comes up, gets a hit, then he pulls a hamstring. I mean, does it get much worse than that? I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
It's frustrating.
It doesn't. But even Welsh Cheesemo, I could do like a puppet Welsh Cheesemo. Welsh and Welsh Cheesemo say in a points league, maybe because he's not going to strike out, but he's going to hit in the back of the order. So I'm not running to pick up either one of these guys. But Nacho's hit tool could be a game changer in it, and maybe you would pick him up. See, it's a lot easier for you to take that off. I don't have the whole.
It is. I don't have to do my hair again. But yeah, it's hot under there. Ooh, boy, Rey Mysterio, what a tough guy. All right. So besides the obvious about Jacob Wilson, which was very frustrating, Jackson Chourio, on a good note, we talked a couple weeks ago now, it was like 6 weeks ago, it feels like, about the slow upturn of Jackson Chourio. And over his last 30 games now, he's slashing 311, 368, 476. He has really started to come into his own. So tell me about Jackson Chourio rest of season now. Have you seen enough where you're going to see this version of him, which is, look, if he keeps up a slash that's anything close to this is a rock star player right here. Like, this is the guy that we wanted. The problem is he either got dropped or traded in a lot of leagues where the original person doesn't have Jackson Chourio anymore. But if you do have him on your roster, is this version of him that we've seen the last 30 games your expectation that we're going to see?
Yeah, I think so. 2 straight months of hitting 300, which has been huge. He's been able to drop down the strikeout rates down to 23%. Solid hard hit numbers, very good. Barrel numbers you'd like to get up. He's still not getting the ball quite in the air, but like Ellie, O'Neal Cruz, they're still learning to do that type of stuff as well. But he's had a really good, relatively good even distribution as far as like the type of whether it's breaking pitches or fastballs and stuff that he's hitting. And essentially 89% of pitches seen, he's hitting 240 or higher. And, he has made a concerted effort with the strikeouts going down, the power kind of going up, 10 homers, 12 stolen bases. It's funny. I should go back and look. I did a Welsh projections on CBS before the season with minor leaguers just completely being silly about it. I actually might not be off on where I have Chourio because he's got a legit shot, especially if he starts running a little bit more. He might pull off a 15, 20, maybe a 2020 season out of this. But yeah, I think carrying in those 200-300 batting average months that he's currently on through July, he is a must own. He's a top probably 125 player moving forward with the counting stats, and he's hitting higher in the lineup. So yeah, I'm all here for Chourio. He's a rookie. Anything could happen. I think a really fun question is Chourio versus James Wood rest of season.
Well, Wood 2 for 4 with a 3-run homer yesterday in the 8th. So looking pretty solid up there. 3 up and 3 down. It was all about the stars yesterday. What's that?
But who would you take?
Wood or Chourio? It's funny. Profile-wise, Wood. But because Chourio's been up longer, I kind of feel like he is settling in. And I think I would lean towards Chourio because now it's like, okay, you had your big league hiccup. You've had that. You made the adjustment. Now you're there. Like Wood could still have that. Wood could still have that adjustment period ahead of him. That's my only concern there. Like that.
I think I'm with you on
any point.
I'm with Chourio on this one as well because Wood is in that like.
I'm surprised you're saying that actually.
Well, no, but I think like from an upside perspective, in that redraft league that I do in my home league. By the way, I took Albies, of course. I suck, but I also took James Wood, and I got this big value on him. But James Wood is kind of in his, learning the game, 30% strikeout rate, not seeing a lot of fastballs. He's seeing 3% less fastballs than Chourio right now. So, he's got some adjustment period. The thing is his raw tools are so stupid that, like he could hit 250 and he could become more valuable in fantasy. But I think Chourio has gotten to the level where he has stabilized, and we're going to start seeing that game the rest of the way through, maybe running a little bit more. That I'll take Chourio rest of this season, just this season.
Yeah, I would too. I'm like I said, I'm surprised that that's where you went, but it's good that we're both on the same page there. 3 up and 3 down. Look, this is about the superstars here in the 3 up. Ohtani, his 30th home run was massive. If you missed it, go run to the X machine or Twitter machine and go see it. It was amazing. Yordan Alvarez, a huge day for him, hitting for the Psycho with a pair of ribbies and 2 runs scored. And Aaron Judge, 2 for 4 with a 3-run homer. He now has 35, so pretty damn good. 3 down, Aaron Savali, newly acquired, maybe not so new anymore. 5 earned runs and 4 1/3. Thank you for playing. Kevin Gossman continues to be up and down. 4 runs for him, 5 hits. I mean, this is just the Kevin Gossman roller coaster. This is what it is. And Schwellenbach, that's right, the Schwelly balls himself. 4 runs, 7 hits, 6 innings. He's not very good. Injuries. Yoshinobu Yamamoto spoke to reporters and said that apparently his goal is to rejoin the Dodgers before the end of the season. Oh, that's great. Wow,
Oh, great.
what
Awesome.
a wonderful goal.
I think all of ours was too. Anyone in fantasy.
Yeah, what a fantastic goal to have. God, he has
Mhm.
been, I'm sorry. I mean, can we say it? A bust? Is it safe to say bust? I think
Yeah,
it's a
but I
bust.
think I don't know. I think the bust
The
came
ADP,
from the
it's a bust.
injury.
I don't care.
Dude, he went high. He was going above like
Way too high.
massive players. Yeah, I mean,
When
but
the opening
it
rankings
tapered
happened,
down.
I was higher than anybody on Yamamoto, and then people rocketed past me, and I stayed the same. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What are we doing here?" It just made no sense.
Yeah, but I think it's the injury. I think like if we had a full season of him, because like let me look real quick.
Well, he was also crap in April. It was crap in
Yeah.
April. Then he was really good for May and June, and then he got hurt. Like that's a crap return on investment. Sorry.
But Joe, it was a sub 3 ERA, 28% K percentage. I mean, that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
6-2 record before he went down. Now, I think it was like it's only a bust because of the injury, and we can't label bust due to injury.
No, but we can say, look, you were the guy that said too, you were concerned about the size of the player and the durability of the player, and that's what happened. Max Fried, 15-day IL, left forearm neuritis. So I think it's going to be at least a few starts here. Max Scherzer, by the way, left Saturday's game against the Orioles because he has arm fatigue. So that's great. I think I have Max Scherzer fatigue. I am fatigued when it comes to Max Scherzer. Ryan Pepio goes to the IL. It's a good thing the Rays have a lot of depth in that rotation, isn't it? Right knee infection. That sounds painful. The Dodgers activated Jason Hayward. Yeah, that's what it says. Right.
How do you infect your knee? You get a cut? Did you not clean it? You put some
clean it up.
Some tussin on it?
The back team. There's some tussin. Rub some beer in it, maybe. I don't know. Reese Olson goes to the IL with a shoulder strain, and Kodai Senga, who had a terrible start, was supposed to be his last one in the minor leagues. Terrible start this weekend. Apparently, he's still going to come back against Atlanta this week. Kodai Senga. So, are you throwing Kodai Senga back to the Wolves and starting him when he makes his debut? Or are you hesitant because of how bad the last start in the minor leagues was?
Who are they? Do we know who they're playing? I think that would Atlanta. I might. Atlanta's got they're reeling right now. Their offense is kind of falling apart. Massive chase rates too. I mean, I might pick on them. I pick on them today a little bit. I might. If I'm trying to like really baby and hold ratios and stuff like that, there definitely is a chance, Matt Olson or Austin Riley could get to him, but they're falling. Boom, boom, boom. All those Braves and big strikeout stuff from Senga. I don't know. I think I might be willing to do it. It's not a must start, but I'm not 100% sitting him. So it's a 50-50, probably depending where I'm at.
All right, let's get to everyone's favorite part. It's a fresh week. I think it is. Look, it was a really good week. It was a bad Friday, but a great week, at least for me. So it's Monday. It's time to get back on the horse for the best bets of the day.
Oh, it's supposed to be me.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's try that again. The best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. Don't forget to make your bets over at bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you use the promo code leading off. And of course, don't forget, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Terms and conditions apply. Sorry, I stepped on your line.
What did you think? You were with like a Rico or something?
It's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays, and it's me. But I know how to shake that. Winning some money. So let's go first to Detroit, to the Tigers on the money line in Cleveland. Skubal on the mound against Carrasco. Carrasco stinks. Skubal goes out there. It's minus 120 on the money line, but I like it anyway. So go ahead. Go full Skubal today. And the juice isn't too bad, but I support this message. Next, Houston. Alvarez is on fire right now. Let's go to the run line. Even though Arrigetti's on the mound, it's just the Oakland A's. It's in Oakland. I get it, but still minus 1.5 at plus 120. Give me the Houston Astros. I think they're going to pound the A's into submission today. And I'm going to go Oppo here today. You ready for this? I'm going to go against the Dodgers. That's right. San Francisco with Blake Snell on the mound on the money line at plus 125. I'm going to go against the Dodgers, against Shohei Ohtani, maybe against the better judgment. I don't know, but Snell's been pretty good since his return. I like him in this matchup here today. I like the plus side, so I like the money line on the Tigers, the Giants, and give me the run line today on the Houston Astros. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
All right, bets. First up on the bet, speaking of those strikeouts, Hunter Green. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go Cincinnati, Hunter Green, strikeout 6.5 over minus 125. A little bit more juice than I usually like to pair together. But as I mentioned before, with the Braves, Braves strikeout rate, especially against righties over the last, like, I think it's 30 days, sitting around like 28% with a 30% chase rate right now. And Hunter Green has got 2 straight, if you don't count the last like 1 inning thing, 2 straight starts where he went 7 or higher. So I actually think this is a pretty decent one for a Braves team that's reeling for a big strikeout pitcher in Hunter Green. So 6.5 over at just under the range that I'm comfortable with. There's actually a couple nerfies that I'm going to, some are riskier than others. There's one that I'm going to put up on the Betting Pros app, bettingpros.com/Welsh, if you care to follow, if you're wanting to follow. But the one I'm going to give you for the play today is the Chicago Cubs and the Brewers. Toby Myers and Javier Assad are both up here, and both of them are in the bottom 15 of first run scoring. So I actually like that matchup, and it's -135. So that's a pretty, and I think I've picked on Javier Assad a couple times for those offenses starting out. So Cubs and Brewers nerfy. Finally, actually, I should have done this in paired. I didn't realize I did it, but I'm going back to Cincinnati money line. I'm going to take the straight up money line at big plus money, +120, Hunter Green, and those Reds going up against the Braves. So those are my 3 bets. Have a couple more, bettingpros.com/Welsh. There you go.
There you go. Make sure you go download the Betting Pros app to get ready for NFL season, for your MLB season, for every season, only on bettingpros.com. The place that has the tools to help you bet smarter, not harder. Who wants to bet harder? That sounds like a terrible idea. So download the BP app today and go make some cash.
I like money.
I like money. You know what else? Like, yeah, that sounds like something that this version of Joe Mauer would say. I like money. I sure does.
My boy. Yeah, this is that's a character from Idiocracy. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Oh, 100%. 100%. This guy is definitely working the stockroom at, Walmart
Costco
or something. Yeah, or Costco or one of the, like, I just, come on, man.
Episode of Ow, my.
Can you imagine Joe Mauer's reaction? Like, I know this is not Cristiano Ronaldo bad. Like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, that was like the worst. Whoever did that had like a vendetta against him because that was so bad. But man, like, poor Joe Mauer, he revealed it.
Is it the worst one though? And like, isn't it?
Cristiano Ronaldo is really bad.
Ronaldo.
And then there's that Brandy Chastain one. I think they did one of her too. That it's just scary.
There's another one out there that's really bad. Yeah, there's a couple others, but
you want hey, you kids listening out there, you want a good career path for yourself? Bronze statue making. If you can make bronze busts and you can do a good job with that, forget it. You're gonna
you don't even have to do a good job with it. You can still get the job. Just clearly no one is.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's go right now to the leaderboard for home runs and see what happened over the weekend. I'm still stuck at 26, but I'm still on the board, baby. El Scale at 35, still at the very top of the board. Again, that Vlad Guerrero bat autographed by Vladdy is going to somebody. You can join our Discord at fantasypros.com/chat. So Welsh, today I'm going to keep it simple. Rafael Devers is my home run call. Where are you going for your home run call today?
I kind of wanted to go Devers too, but now I'm going to go on the opposite side. I'm going to go Tyler O'Neill. He's still active, isn't he? Tyler O'Neill for it. I got 22. I'm 4 away from the board. So, I mean, we got
a couple days,
9 days before, 9-10 days before the Joe disappearance. So I don't think it's, unless I get some double homer days and you get none, I don't think I'm going to get on that board before you're gone, but I am pretty close at 22, which turn over the weekend.
My joy would be like August 2nd, you get on the board just as I go. And just,
it'd be, well, because technically you were going to come on August 2nd as your last show.
It's true.
But August 3rd would be hilarious for me to get on the board the day
like
after.
On the weekend, you pick Aaron Judge and he gets 3 home runs that day. And you're like, just so salty and angry.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
But I'm welcoming everybody back to. I know the All-Star break is a weird time, but again, as Welsh said, we're going to be here, rocking out shows every single day, Monday through Friday, still rest of July. So don't worry, baseball's not going anywhere. It's going to be just fine. Everything's fine.
It's just Joe a tiny bit, and I believe
a little bit less Joe, which I think everybody could agree is probably a good thing.
Nah, the dynamic duo of you and I, it's going to be hard to beat. But Casey Bubba, I believe, is the Tuesday host here, or the analyst, who's going to be making his first appearance of the season on Tuesday, and then we'll have Joe Rico on Thursday. So Joe is still here 3 times a week through July with a couple of our other buddies who are going to be jumping in on leading off throughout the rest of the season, so everybody can get acclimated and we can poke and we can prod and we can get the inside jokes.
And leaders believe in the team, and I believe in the team. So we're putting the other guys out there on the team and letting them play a little bit.
Yeah, you sound like the man.
I know Joe Rico can't hit lefties,
goes.
and Casey Bubba, Casey Bubba has a liability after the second time through the lineup, but we can make it work. We can make it work.
Leaders believe in the team, Joe Pizza Pita.
Yeah. All right, well, Cheesemo, send us out for today.
Ooh, we love you all, but we're gonna go. I can't do the voice. We're gonna get out of here. The story of the game goes on for Joe and was Cheesemo. It's leading off. We'll talk to you tomorrow, brothers. There's no I in team, but there is in Welsh.